Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and I'm getting a bright and early start to today. It's a beautiful Friday morning. I have no idea when you guys will be seeing this, but we have to take Emily to OU Medical Center in Oklahoma City for her her surgery pre-op appointment. Surgery follows on Monday, and we're going to get all of that set up and figure out what time we got to be there and all of everything she needs to know today. But it's about an hour and a half drive up to Oklahoma City from where we live, so I've got a couple of other errands to run, and both I'm pretty excited about. But one, listen, I got separated from one thing that I wanted to keep that meant a lot to me when I left the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Something that meant a lot and means a lot to most any police officer when they leave their job. I was not allowed to keep, and today I get to go pick it up. I get to go buy it. Actually, it'll be mine forever. Only had a few of these the entire 14 years I was a trooper, so I'll bring you guys along, show you what we're going to get, and I've got one other thing to go look at, and it's not a crusty old dump truck. I promise. Dude, it's not your spot.
Yeah, I'm not driving.
Move, bruh. I'm so excited, Mom. I'm so excited. Still got my tape on it from when I put my badge number on the box. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at that. I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're excited.
I am. I never thought I would get to have it back. It means a lot to me. I carried it a lot. All right, y'all, finally made it home. I know this is just kind of random stuff throughout the day, but we made it to Emily's pre-op appointment, like check-in this morning on Friday morning. Her surgery is at 9:05 on Monday morning, and she'll probably be in the hospital for 2 to 3 days. So I explained all of that. DJ's explained all that. If you missed that, go back and check out the old videos, but she's having a pretty significant surgery. If she's going to be in the hospital for 2 to 3 days, that alone tells you it's pretty significant. So next week's going to be this. I don't know what all it's going to look like. Okay. By the time you guys are seeing this, though, she will have already had surgery, but I promise we'll keep you guys updated on all that stuff and everything. But also got to go purchase my old duty weapon. So I left the Oklahoma Highway Patrol in 2020. I did 14 years in law enforcement, 14 years with Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and carried two different duty pistols. The first one was a SIG 226, like a 357 SIG. And I don't know for sure. I think I carried that one for like 8 or 9 years. And then they reissued these pistols, and they allowed us to buy our first ones. And then when I left in 2020, I didn't stay 20 years, so it wasn't an official retirement. When you retire, they'll let you keep your sidearm. I left early, took an early retirement, but I had to turn this in, and that was the hardest thing for me. So this is a SIG P320, a 9mm, but these were custom built for Oklahoma State Troopers. That's upside down, isn't it? There you go. Oklahoma Highway Patrol. It says Oklahoma Highway Patrol on the side, and I carried this for several years. And that may not have a lot of significance to most people, but that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to most guys in law enforcement. This this little pistol and the other one that's in my house were what I used to protect my life for years. I don't know. It has a lot of significance, and when I wasn't able to buy that gun when I left, I was a little upset. So it is what it is. They're reissuing. They're going to Glocks, and they're taking in all of those old SIGs, and they're allowing everybody to purchase them at a very discounted rate. I got to buy that gun for like 320 bucks. So I'm pumped about it. But you guys know that's not the only thing we did today, right? That's not the only thing, not the only extra purchase I made today. You know that, right? So we've been fighting this old loaner dump truck for the last several days, well, last week or so, and it's been a thorn in my side a little bit. Got it running the other day, and it ran great, dumped great, but I told you, I've been in the market, been debating on, and I finally talked myself into purchasing a dump bed trailer. And that's exactly what I did today. This thing, listen, I'm not a tech and spec guy. I've told you guys that. I've told all of you that. I'm not going to sit here and go over all the features of this trailer, mostly because I don't think most of you care. You just want to see it work. But I'm going to go over a couple things and tell you why I bought what I bought. So first off, it's a Lone Star brand. I've never owned a Lone Star trailer. Don't know a whole lot about them. I do know that it's made in Mexico, but it's a very heavy built, well built trailer, and there's a lot of upgrades on this trailer that a lot don't have. The main one being this telescopic hydraulic lift that lifts from the front. Most of these dump bed trailers have a scissor lift that lifts in the middle, and it's very easy to load too much weight towards the front, and then you can't dump it. This trailer is 7 feet wide, so interior 7 feet wide, and I opted for a 16-foot length. Most of these dump bed trailers are in the 7-foot width. They're 7 by 14. There's some 7 by 12s. A lot of guys have a 6 by 10, but this one is 16 feet long. It looks like it's running downhill right now, but it's because I'm parked in a sag right there. It doesn't set like that all the time. 2 axles, 7,000 pound axles. It has the upgraded tarp, so it's just like on a rock truck, on a semi. It flips up and over with just the hand crank. Not going to be using that obviously around here, but if we haul some rock or gravel or go do something off and we have to get on some public roads, we can do that. It has multiple ways that you can open the tailgate, so you can do, obviously it's a split door, open both sides out. Has built-in ramps underneath, so if I wanted to load a tractor or skid steer or something in the bed of it, we could. But the tailgate also has a spreader option, so if you want to get gravel and raise it up and spread gravel, tailgate it out, you can do that. It's got jacks that drop down, so if you want to load your skid steer or something heavy in the back of it, you can drop those down so that it doesn't lift up the tongue and the back of your truck. It's just a lot easier on your truck and trailer when you're loading a piece of equipment. Yeah, that's about it. They had multiple color options I could pick from. It's 99% of these things are all black, but this company makes multiple colors. They had orange, red, desert tan is like the color of my wife's pickup truck up there, and like an OD green. And I went with the black with a gray frame. They all had a gray frame, but the black, really, because this was the size and configuration that I wanted with 2-foot sides. Most of them have 3 or 4 foot tall sides. I really just can't see needing that tall of sides on my little dump trailer, especially since I opted for the 16-foot length. Whew, sorry about the sun. With the 16-foot length, I've got plenty of space to be able to dump in there, and it's just the shorter sides, it's just easier to see into. So whether we're loading mud from the pond or dirt or rock or just junk or logs, firewood, whatever it is, the smaller sides are much easier to reach into, to see into. Equipment, I can drive up to it with my skid steer and actually see in the bed. Ones with 4-foot sides, they're too tall, like you just can't see in there. And I just don't need that tall of a side on it. With the 2-foot sides, when I'm driving the truck, I can actually look in the rearview mirror and still be able to see all the vehicles behind me and everything. So anyways, I'm going to unhook it from the truck because I don't plan on towing this around towards the pond with my truck and using it. I am going to hook it onto the TYM 5835 tractor and use it that way here. Obviously, we can, if we need to leave the property, we can do whatever. But for beating and banging around in that pond and around in the woods and stuff, I just think the tractor's a much better, safer option. I just don't feel like getting my pickup truck back there in that pond is a good idea. So I only have a little bit of time this evening because it is almost 5:30, and I promised my wife I'd cook some steaks for supper. I think Weston's coming over, and we're all gonna have a family dinner. So I am gonna unhook this, hook the tractor onto it real quick, and maybe go load at least one load of dirt, because you just have to. And I don't feel like trying to get that beauty started today. I haven't been able to take it back home yet, so the battery's in there on the charger as usual, and we're gonna let that truck sit and go see what this thing will do. All right, there's where we're gonna start. That's 8 bucket loads. That's as much as I hauled with the big dump truck. I didn't load much at the front. This is my first ever dump with a dump bed trailer. So I'm gonna take it easy the first few times. I should be able to pretty much fill this thing up, I think. Some of this mud's pretty heavy. Now, it's dried out quite a bit over the last few weeks, but I put most of my weight over the axles and, you know, towards the rear, so it should lift. Should. But you guys know how things work for me sometimes. About you guys, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think I'm gonna like this. Now we got to take it and dump it and make sure it's gonna dump. That's an important key factor. But I think having a dump bed trailer on the farm, being able to tow it around with a tractor, is going to be a very valuable asset, a good thing to add to the line of equipment on the farm. I don't know if you could tell or not, but the old TYM tractor was kind of grunting and groaning, tried to spin the tires a little bit coming up that hill. It's a lot of weight, man. Excuse me, coming through. Get out of the way. One cool thing is I actually have enough hose it's not a hose, I have enough wire that I can attach this to the tractor if I want to, and have plenty of length to raise and lower this from the tractor seat, so that as it dumps I can pull forward. But I think this first time I'm going to stand back and just have a watch from the ground. It's going up. It's going up. Doesn't act like it's a problem at all. So this is hydraulic up, but gravity down. So it doesn't use your battery power to bring it back down. So I think that's pretty cool. Sure doesn't look like much when it's on the ground, but when it's in that trailer it looks like a lot. So I got it all out. The first time I attempted to dump, I didn't pull forward far enough. Some of it didn't slide out, but that mud is just sticky stuff. So it did come out, so that's a good thing. So let's drop her back down and head back to the house and cook some steaks, I think. All right, y'all, it's the next morning. I'm gonna try to get a few loads of dirt moved this morning. Houston has a football game at about 11 o'clock. We're gonna have to leave at about 10. And it gives me an hour and a half or so. I can get a little bit of work done. This thing is big. So like I told you guys, I've opted for the 16-foot length instead of the 14-foot length, which is fine. I think I'll love it. It's just a lot bigger than what I realized, and I noticed that trying to worm my way up those hills and down hills and around curves and trees and all that. So I may have a few more trees that I may need to trim or move out of the way if I'm going to be worming this thing around through the woods a lot. I don't know that I'm going to put it down in the pond yet. I'm still learning what it's like towing this thing behind the tractor and all that stuff. So I'll probably just back up and keep loading off the edge of the pond until I clean out some more space, because it takes a pretty good circle to turn this thing around. So anyways, let's go move a couple loads of dirt. First things first though, before I forget. Oh, that would have been bad. Got to unplug the charger. This thing has a built-in trickle charger. And the guys at the dealership where I bought this said this trailer should be good for 5 to 6 dumps on a single battery charge. But I have some ideas and plans for that. So 5 to 6 dumps in a day is not a lot, obviously. But that thing has a charger in there. It's just a trickle charger, so it doesn't get a lot of charge very fast. But I have a couple options. One thing I'm thinking about doing, when it's hooked up to the tractor, it's not wired into the truck. So when it's wired into the truck, I think that may add a little bit of charge to the battery, but it's just a 12-volt system, so it's not charging a lot. What I could do when it's plugged into the truck, because I have a 110 outlet in the bed of my pickup, I could run an extension cord from this to the back of the truck and let it constantly be charging. Or I've got several, like Jackery and EcoFlow portable solar generators. I could just put one of those in there and plug it in, and it's just charging non-stop as long as that Jackery or EcoFlow or whatever it is has charge. But my next question is, and I'm not sure about this, I don't know if anyone else would have much experience with that, but here's an idea that I'm thinking about. So this is just a hydraulic pump that's, ran through a deep cycle battery, but it's hydraulic to lift that. Well, there's hydraulics right there. So, is there a way that we could tee into some of this hydraulic system and run 1 or 2 hydraulic lines, whatever we need to do, because it's got to go up and down to the hydraulics on the back of my tractor, which then we could do unlimited dumps per day. Hey, listen, you can't ride the tractor with me, okay? You've got to stay on the ground. I know you ride the buggy, but not the tractor. So like I said, I'm not even sure that it's possible to tie into the hydraulics and run that off the tractor hydraulics. That trailer has its own hydraulic reservoir and pump and all that stuff. So we'd have to bypass the pump and the reservoir and just tie straight into that lift mechanism. So I think it may be possible. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find somebody that's got a little more expertise than I and get some ideas. There's what 10 skid steer buckets of dirt looks like. There's still a little more room in the front here and there. I mean, we could pile more on here, but I don't think it's a great idea. I don't want to overdo it. So we dumped 8 yesterday with no problems. Today, first load is 10 bucket loads. So let's go see what we can do. Now, I don't know how well it comes across on video, but that hill right there is just a little bit sketchy. That's the only thing that makes me nervous about this whole process with the tractor. You can see on video, I bet, that it was getting really light in the front end, obviously, pulling up a hill. What I probably need to do is take those forks off and put a bucket on there and get a scoop of dirt so we have several hundred pounds of counterweight sticking off the front. Because even though the tractor is 4-wheel drive, if the front wheels don't have any weight pushing down on them, they're not doing me any good for traction. And coming up that hill, it's just a little bit sketchy. Well, y'all, I know it may not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but I love that thing. I think that's one of the best purchases I've made in a long time, and it will come in very handy around here, and I'm sure to several other people over the next few years. But I've always kind of hum-hawed around about buying a dump trailer. I just didn't know how much use I would get out of it. But I think right now, that dog she is nuts. Anyways, I think right now with this pond project, it's the perfect purchase. And there's a lot to be said about what dump truck versus dump trailer and all that. And I've talked about all that in several videos. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it. Kelsey, what are you doing? You stopped as soon as I pointed the camera at you. Anyways, but ultimately that decision's up to you as to whether a dump truck or a dump trailer would benefit you more in your specific circumstances. But I think for me, and what I'm doing and what I have plans to do, the dump trailer will be much better. And I don't have to worry about keeping an old diesel engine started and running, and transmissions and clutches and all that stuff. There's just not a lot of working, moving parts on a dump trailer that aren't easily replaceable if something breaks. So, next couple things here. So first off, I have hooked the trailer up with a drawbar attachment that just like on a pickup truck. But I'm debating, would it be better to buy a 3-point mount that will accept a receiver so that it's made for towing trailers and things? Which I need to do some research, basically. Which ones are rated for more weight? Because this trailer alone is heavy. And then when you load it with that heavy mud, it gets really heavy. So is the drawbar better for towing heavy weight, or the 3-point lift that I could actually lift up and down and maneuver to level the trailer out, and I could drop it down when I get ready to dump so that the back end of the trailer is higher off the ground? I don't know. I need to do some research on that. The next thing, I've got a pretty good road down here. I need to bring the skid steer and kind of level some things out, because there's a couple places I don't want to drop the trailer off into, but I've just about got it cleared out enough. I think if I finish cleaning up that pile and then bring the skid steer in here and smooth some of that out, maybe get a couple stumps out of here, I can get the trailer all the way down in here, and I've got several more piles that I can pick up. But what I'm curious about is, you guys have seen me digging that soupy mud out of this ditch back here, and that's what we need to get out of here, because this is all dry. This is ready to go. But I need to get the excavator down there next to the ditch and back that trailer down in here and just start loading that soupy mud. Kelsey, don't go down in there. So this is the last pile that I dug out, and it's starting to dry up some, but it's still just very, very wet. But you guys have seen me digging and scooping this stuff out of here for a couple weeks now, and I want to be able to just scoop it directly into the dump trailer and haul it out. So that's the next goal. I don't know how much of that stuff I can haul, because it won't mound up. It's just liquid, and it's going to want to run out of the back of the trailer and all that stuff. But I'd much rather be able to just scoop it and get it out of here and let it go dry out somewhere else, and not have to scoop it, pile it, then wait for it to dry, load it, put it in the trailer, and then haul it off. So that's the ultimate goal, is to take a couple steps out of this process. But that's going to have to wait. I don't have time to do that this morning. It's about 9:30. I got a couple loads moved this morning, so not bad. It's a slow process, but it's probably smarter to take it slow at first and not overdo something, tear something up, break something. Jeez, this dog is... I've never seen a dog with so much energy. The GSP breed is just insane. She never stops running. Anyways, I don't want to tear anything up. I don't want to break anything. And going up that hill, like I said, with a full load of dirt is a little bit sketchy with the tractor. So before I do it again, I want to put a bucket on there and put, a few 100 pounds of dirt and just keep it in there. And I don't know, maybe this evening sometime I'll have enough time to come test out my scooping and moving process and take the take the nasty mud out of there. I don't know. We shall see. But right now, I've got to get back to the house, clean up, go to Houston's football game. Jacoby plays first. He plays 5th grade, and then Houston. And then this afternoon, Houston has... there's no way. There's no way I'm going to get to do much work this afternoon. Jacoby's birthday party is this afternoon. He turned 11 the other day, and they're just now having his birthday party. His birthday was a week and a half or so ago. But then my wife has scheduled family pictures this evening. Every dad loves family pictures, right? So that'll probably take up most of the evening. So probably not going to be much more work on the pond getting done today.
Watch your side. Watch your side.
Go get him.
Yeah! Houston!
That was a high snap to the second backfield. Arms. Draw ball.
Get him. Yeah! Attaboy!
Mitchell with the keeper. Tackle for a loss.
Move the ball, let's go! Move it! Move the ball! Move the ball, let's go!
Pass falls incomplete. Bring up a 4th down.
Houston's football game went great. Those little boys are pretty darn good. So they're a 6th grade football team, and they've never been beaten. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Really, rarely ever have they had anyone even score on them. So pretty salty little football team, and Houston's figuring it out. Football is quickly becoming his favorite sport. It used to be baseball. Football's up there now, and this year's the first year he's played defensive end, and it took him a couple games to get it all figured out. We're down to 2 games left now after today, and defensive end has become a place that he's really enjoying to play. And he plays defensive end and tight end. He got to catch a couple passes today, but the defensive end spot he's really starting to figure out, and it's been really fun watching him learn it and seeing it change in his confidence level and all of that stuff. And I'm going to go out on a limb, not even a risky limb here. I'm going to just say today was Houston's best ever defensive game, period, hands down. And I don't know how many tackles he had. He sacked the quarterback a few times, had several tackles in the backfield, and had several plays where he should have made a tackle in the backfield, but at least contained the running back and allowed someone else to get to him. So great game today. DJ usually shows a lot of the football stuff, a lot of the sports stuff on her channel, but Houston had some really good plays, and DJ was videoing down on the sidelines. I'll see if I can get a couple of those quarterback sacks and show you guys. But I'm gonna run around, check a few game cameras, check on a couple feeders. Deer season is basically here. It starts October 1st, which by the time you guys see this, deer season will have already started in Oklahoma, archery season anyways. But we're going to miss out on the first little bit of archery season. We're not getting to elk hunt this year. I had to turn that down. Houston was pretty disappointed, even though we have that elk herd just 10 miles from us. I had permission to hunt down there on the river. You guys have seen us down there several times. I've got a pig trap down there still. The pigs have all disappeared. I think the landowner across the river has pretty much thinned them all out. But we're not going to get to elk hunt because Emily's surgery is scheduled for September 30th, which is Monday. And then she's going to be in the hospital for 2 or 3 days. And the reason we're not going to get to elk hunt is because last year and most years, Southeast Oklahoma has always been, I mean not always, but for several years has been allotted 5 elk tags. Because there's not a lot of elk in Southeast Oklahoma. So everything east of I-35, south of I-40, so a whole quarter of the state, there were 5 elk tags. There's 5 elk tags this year. Last year the season lasted a full 24 hours plus the next morning's hunt, and it was closed. So if you don't kill one on the first day, chances are you're not going to get to elk hunt it lasted, you know, season lasted, you know, one day plus part of the morning of the next. So we're gonna miss out on that this year, and Houston's pretty bummed, but it's all part of the process, I guess. So we're getting geared up to do family pictures tonight, and then we'll go to church in the morning, and then spend probably most of Sunday afternoon prepping the farm and animals and everything for us to be gone for a couple days for Emily's surgery. I think DJ's sister is going to stay at the house and take care of everything for us, and her mom's just right down the road, and stepdad, and there's been 100 people offered to help and do chores and do everything for us. So we'll have plenty of help here, and hopefully we'll get Emily out of the hospital and back home really quick. So anyways, guys, remember, do something today to make somebody smile, because you never know, it just might change the world. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.